Hi, welcome back guys. This is your friend, the What If guy, back with another fanfiction. This is the movie of What if Issei becomes Lone Dragon Emperor? Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. The Imperial Dragon Emperor. This takes place at the Peace Summit with Issei and Vali fighting each other, and he already took in the dividing gem, but Vali decided to push a little more, seeing Issei's potential. Hayadu, what do you fight for ecstasy? Us dragons need to get stronger, Vali said while kicking Issei towards the ground, but then he begins to fly up. What do me? Why the sudden interest? I fight and always will fight for my friends, Issei said, punching Vali in the gut. Divide. Issei took some of Vali's power while Vali grabbed his head and kicked him over and over again, then threw him. Divide, boost. Yes, but why do you trust her so much when a dragon could just be a weapon? Vali spoke as Issei rushed at him. Because I was killed by my girlfriend, a fallen, then she saved me, made me who I am today. Issei roars but then stops as he looks at Vali laughing. Ha, you kidding me, Hyde? She's using you. Did you ever think devils no fallen are in their territory? I must be cursed to have a perverted fool like you as my rival. Vali spoke, making Issei stay stuck in motion. No, Issei was shocked he couldn't utter words, while Circex, Azazel and Michael were shocked and hopping. They were wrong before they let their emotions out. Partner, I think he is right, and I sense other males' presences on girls if the peerage. Drake spoke as Issei looked at Vali. Vali, I felt weird these past few days, and Drake told me something just now that explains it. Can you answer me this? Can you sense if those people down there are cheating? Issei spoke as Vali nods. They are. I didn't think you would know, but it's not my business. Vali spoke as Issei let out his aura, glaring at Rias. Is it true? He asked. Issei, it true. Are you cheating on me and only using me as a tool? Is that why I got a summon paper by Yui familiar so you could let Raynare kill me? Issei snapped with tears in his and broken voice, but he was angry, not sad. He felt betrayed. Yes, all I wanted was to be free of Riser, and you were all I needed. Rias spoke as Issei looked at her and snapped. Taking out Ascalon, boost, divide, Dryag. Let's break through our limit by showing them what it means to be the red dragon of domination that makes the impossible possible, and that's no one's pawn. Issei roars as Drake smiles and speaks. Indeed, kick-ass, and show them what it means to be a dragon. Drake says aloud, scaring the orc girls. Boost. Divide. Merge suddenly rang out as Issei glowed red and blue with Ascalon on the air with the same colors of Issei as he merges the two power into Ascalon. Time to show you a dragon slayer to most is just a power-up to me, Issei says as stabs himself with Ascalon, startling everyone, even Vali, but Michael, Circex and Azazel become shocked to amazed as the sword begins to turn into pure energy, and Issei gains a few cracks on his armor, but a large aura glowing red, blue and gold is around Issei like a beaming light, making even Circex and Seraphal and Graphia become afraid, while Sona, watching this, is disappointed in Rias but shocked at Issei and how he could change things. Incredible, Hayadu, impressed with your power, Vali says, landing next to Issei. Thank you, and call me Issei, as I think about the Hayudis probably know about this already, and we both hate our last names, Issei says as Vali nods in acceptance. Now Vali, I will be gone for a few months, so I would like to ask, punch me at full power. I want to see the strength of this generation's white dragon, Issei says with smirk. I was thinking the same, Issei, since I want fight you for a few months out of respect of my rival, Vali says as the two get ready to attack. Your host is incredible, Drake. The fact he destroyed and took in the Dragon Slayer is unheard of, Albion spoke as Drake was silent for a few moments. Albion, they are not hosts, they are partners, or at least mine is, as Issei is an equal to me. He gave an arm for power, not for himself, but other, and even when time ran out he still boosted and planned ahead enough to take out a Phoenix devil. Have you done that, liquor? No, because we respect each other, so shut it. Dryag spoke serious, and the two dragons were glaring at each other ready to attack while everyone was amazed. Incredible, the white dragon emperor, a Lucifer descendant, and the red dragon, and being with infinite potential, both of them are incredible and the best in history. Azazel spoke with the leaders glaring at him. What? He spoke confused. Azazel, now is not the time for you to be happy. We need to make sure Issei is But before Surzex could finish he got punched by Surzex, keeping him quiet. Shut up, I made peace, but I view Issei and Vali as my sons in arms. I am proud of them but am trying my hardest not to be and kill those brats over there. Azazel snaps, letting out his oars, but then it gets cancelled by the two dragons. Boost, 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 aw. They yell, punching each other right in the cheat as the dragons let out every one drop of power they have. When Vali gets hit his armor breaks, but he then starts to cough a little and then become fine, but when looks at Issei his armor is broken as when but not fully and he is brining up more. Man, you're strong. But are you alright, Hyo? Vali asked, getting up slowly, reaching a hand out. Yes, you just hit right where I hit my pawn pieces. Issei says as Vali helps him up. See you in a few months, Issei. Vali says, leaving. Well, that was something, Issei says as something falls out of him, but he quickly hides it in his pocket as the leaders are on their way. Issei, are you okay? Grafia asked. Yam fine, why would you ask? Issei replied cold. Issei, you took in Ascalon itself in your body, not the gear. You're Devik, you're going to die. Sizek spoke in fear and sorrow. My boy, I'm so sorry in the father's name. Michael spoke as Issei smiled. It's fine, I've died once now and Amsat twice when it came to the Fallen and Riser, and I already got a cut from an Excalibur, so I'm fine. He says remembering getting cut by Irina, but Lord Michael, may I ask for you to let Zenobia pray? She just joined and I don't think she hurt me, but I'm not sure, but it will get her close to Irons again. Issei says, thinking of what he did for everyone all his life. Alright Issei, but do you want the same for Asia? Michael asked as Issei just went silent, which was more than enough of an answer for a no. Alright, farewell and stay strong, Issei. Michael said as he left. Issei, are you sure you're okay? Azazel asked. Yes, I'm fine, just. Surzex, is it okay if I go to train for a while? I will see you all during summer. Issei says with his head down. Of course, and I will keep in touch and talk to my parents about you, but Issei, even if we cancel the engagement, you are still a brother to me. Surzex spoke as he hugged Issei, and so did Grafia as do I cried. Thanks guys. Issei spoke, breaking the hug. And Sensei, is it okay if we keep in touch too, because I viewed you as more of family than the hiatus, just like Zex? Issei says as Azazel cried, hugging Issei, shocking everyone. Stay safe, front. See you in 4 months. Azazel spoke as Issei hugged back and broke after a few moments. Issei, here, take these for your training. Grafia said, giving 5 fine X tears to him. Thank you, these must have been pricey, but don't worry, I will pay you back for everything this foolish pervert has done. Issei says, spreading his wings, which changed glowing grayish silver with black as his devil wings changed, but the real shock was he had 4 wings he grew. The Imperial Dragon Emperor. This takes place at the Peace Summit with Issei and Vala fighting each other, and he already took in the dividing gem, but Vala decided to push a little more, seeing Issei's potential. Hayadu, what do you fight for, ecstasy? Us dragons need to get stronger. Vala said while kicking Issei towards the ground, but then he begins to fly up. What do me? Why the sudden interest? I fight and always will fight for my friends. Issei said, punching Vala in the gut. Divide. Issei took some of Vala's power while Vala grabbed his head and kicked him over and over again, then threw him. Divide, 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 boost, boost, boost. Yes, but why do you trust her so much when you a dragon could just be a weapon? Vala spoke as Issei rushed at him. Because I was killed by my girlfriend, a fallen, then she saved me, made me who I am today. Issei roars but then stops as he looks at Vala, laughing. Ha, you kidding me, Hyde? She's using you. Did you ever think devils no fallen are in their territory? I must be cursed to have a perverted fool like you as my rival. Vala spoke, making Issei stay stuck in motion. No, Issei was shocked he couldn't utter words, while Sursex, Azazel and Michael were shocked and hopping. They were wrong before they let their emotions out. Partner, I think he is right, and I sense other males' presences on girls if the peerage. Drake spoke as Issei looked at Valley. Valley, I felt weird these past few days, and Drake told me something just now that explains it. Can you answer me this? Can you sense if those people down there are cheating? Issei spoke as Valley nods. They are. I didn't think you would know, but it's not my business. Vala spoke as Issei let out his aura, glaring at Rias. Is it true? He asked. Issei, Issei, it true. Are you cheating on me and only using me as a tool? Is that why I got a summon paper by Yui familiar so you could let Raynare kill me? Issei snapped with tears in his and broken voice, but he was angry, not sad. He Fels betrayed. Yes, it all I wanted was to be free of riser and you were all I needed. Rias spoke as Issei looked at her and snapped. Taking out Ascalon boost divide divdi dryag, let's break through our limit by showing them what it mean to be the red dragon of domination that makes the impossible possible, and that's no one's pawn. Issei roars as Drake smiles and speaks, indeed kick-ass, and show them what it means to be a dragon. Drake says aloud, scaring the orc girls. Boost. Divide. Merge. Suddenly rang out as Issei glowed red and blue with Ascalon on the air with the same colors of Issei as he merges the two power into Ascalon. Time to show you a dragon slayer to most is just a power-up to me. Issei says as stabs himself with Ascalon, startling everyone, even Vali, but Michael, Surzex and Azazel become shocked to amazed as the sword begins to turn into pure energy and Issei gains a few cracks on his armor, but a large aura glowing red, blue and gold is around Issei like a beaming light, making even Surzex and Seraphal and Graphia become afraid, while Sona watching this is disappointed in Rias but shocked at Issei and how he could change things. Incredible, Hayadu, impressed with your power. Valis says, landing next to Issei. Thank you and call me Issei, as I think about the Hayudis probably know about this already and we both hate our last names. Issei says as Vali nods in acceptance. Now Vali, I will be gone for a few months, so I would like to ask, punch me at full power, I want to see the strength of this generation's white dragon. Issei says with smirk. I was thinking the same, Issei, since I want fight you for a few months out of respect of my rival. Valis says as the two get ready to attack. Your host is incredible, Drake. The fact he destroyed and took in the Dragon Slayer is unheard of. Albion spoke as Drake was silent for a few moments. Albion, they are not hosts, they are partners, or at least mine is, as Issei is an equal to me. He gave an arm for power, not for himself, but other, and even when time ran out he still boosted and planned ahead enough to take out a Phoenix devil. Have you done that, liquor? No, because we respect each other, so shut it. Dryag spoke serious and the two dragons were glaring at each other ready to attack while everyone was amazed. Incredible, the white dragon emperor, a Lucifer descendant, and the red dragon and being with infinite potential, both of them are incredible and the best in history. Azazel spoke with the leaders glaring at him. What? He spoke confused. Azazel, now is not the time for you to be happy, we need to make sure Issei is. But before Surzex could finish he got punched by Surzex, keeping him quiet. Shut up, I made peace, but I view Issei and Vali as my sons in arms. I am proud of them but am trying my hardest not to be and kill those brats over there. Azazel snaps, letting out his oars, but then it gets cancelled by the two dragons. Boost, aw. They yell, punching each other right in the cheat as the dragons let out every one drop of power they have. When Vali gets hit his armor breaks, but he then starts to cough a little and then become fine, but when looks at Issei his armor is broken as when but not fully and he is brining up more. Man, you're strong. But are you alright, Hyo? Sit. Vali asked, getting up slowly, reaching a hand out. Yes, you just hit right where I hit my pawn pieces. Issei says as Vali helps him up. See you in a few months, Issei. Vali says, leaving. Well, that was something, Issei says as something falls out of him, but he quickly hides it in his pocket as the leaders are on their way. Issei, are you okay? Graphia asked. I'm fine, why would you ask? Issei replied cold. Issei, you took in Ascalon itself in your body, not the gear. You're Devik, you're going to die. Syzex spoke in fear and sorrow. My boy, I'm so sorry, in the father's name. Michael spoke as Issei smiled. It's fine, I've died once now and Amsat twice when it came to the Fallen and Riser, and I already got a cut from an Excalibur, so I'm fine. He says remembering getting cut by Irina, but Lord Michael, may I ask for you to let Zenobia pray? She just joined and I don't think she hurt me, but I'm not sure, but it will get her close to Irons again. Issei says, thinking of what he did for everyone all his life. Alright Issei, but do you want the same for Asia? Michael asked as Issei just went silent, which was more than enough of an answer for a no. Alright, farewell and stay strong, Issei. Michael said as he left. Issei, are you sure you're okay? Azazel asked. Yes, I'm fine, just. Surzex, is it okay if I go to train for a while? I will see you all during summer. Issei says with his head down. Of course, and I will keep in touch and talk to my parents about you, but Issei, even if we cancel the engagement, you are still a brother to me. Surzex spoke as he hugged Issei, and so did Graphia, as do I cried. Thanks guys. Issei spoke, breaking the hug. And sensei, is it okay if we keep in touch too, because I viewed you as more of family than the hiatus, just like Zex? Issei says as Azazel cried, hugging Issei, shocking everyone. Stay safe, Runt. See you in 4 months. Azazel spoke as Issei hugged back and broke after a few moments. Issei, here, take these for your training. Graphia said, giving 5 fine X tears to him. Thank you, these must have been pricey, but don't worry, I will pay you back for everything this foolish pervert has done. Issei says, spreading his wings, which changed glowing grayish silver with black as his devil wings changed, but the real shock was he had 4 wings he grew. Stronger to a higher rank. Farewell, and I'll miss you guys. Issei says, then looking at Rias. Have fun with your boyfriend, this dragon is gone. Issei says, flying away in sky as Rias begins to run after him, but a large burst of aura stops her as Surzex, Graphia and Azazel glare at everyone with rage, but Graphia is a little easier with Kiba, Gasper, Irina and Zenobia as they just found out about everything, and as a knight Kiba must follow orders, no buts. Partner, what will you do now? Dryag asked, curious. I don't know, but I will become the best in the 3 things I lacked at due to my, and I will do one thing. Issei said, piquing Dryag's interest. What's that? I will find this person I feel a calling to. That is it for this chapter 1. Hope you like the new story of this lone dragon emperor growing his potential and revealing the truth of the Gremory team and his family. I might use the same names as others for the boyfriends, but am not sure, but check out my brother Crimson for helping me get my motivation back for this story. I got the flames back for the ruined dragon army. To roar and amazing story. The lone dragon emperor Issei has grown stronger, and these are his changes. Dragon Demoic rage form. When he gets full of rage, he merges his devil and dragon power so he can control it instead of using his life force, and most of the time he uses one of the 2 auras or both, not the form unless needed. Left, right. These are the 2 new changes to Issei. He has a dragon left arm of boosted gear, but for full of domination and rage with demonic power, while the left is his dragon flames and holy power. However, the 2 have fractions of Dragon Slayer magic, but it is for Issei to use for many reasons. The normal balance breaker, faction dragon balance breaker, land mode. This uses knight power and high rank magic in a dragon form, creating a dragon of Demoic solid energy and holy power to shield and heal himself to Relfect attacks. In other words, it's a shield with incredible speed, and when needed the dragon of magic attack exploding like thunder using either holy and dragon or devil and dragon. Faction dragon balance breaker, sky mode. Its wings has a hint of red, picture that. He uses incredible power to block magic and reflect it, and his wings can blow back any opponent or attack. His body is formed like a weapon of dragon scales and either holy magic like blades merged with dragon fire, or he forms it into a weapon and attack with skilled movement, able to boost faster and divide with his wings like vali, but when he disperses the magic from them he can use it as an attack like a mirror. Unified Heavenly Dragon Balance Breaker Issei trump card that uses not just devil power or holy, but the key is pure power and mind of the vanishing and the Welsh dragon, making the power rival ultimate without boosting, but it has a time limit without training. However, it will become able to be used like a normal balance breaker and be able to boost and divide to the max, making it Maub level someday. And this is a secret for the future, as it is this and it transforms I to these. Enjoy it as Issei grows further into the future. The Lone Dragon Emperor boosted time divide for the return. It has been 4 months since the Peace Summit and everyone wonders where Issei went, but the orc doesn't care anymore as their boyfriends join the club as humans. Babe, are you alright? A male with black hair and blue eyes spoke as he wears the Kuo uniform with a red scarf. Yes, Cadio, I'm fine, just worried as my peerage is going to my home for summer, so I will be away from you for a while. Rias spoke at her desk, showing that the figure named Cadio was her boyfriend she cheated on Issei with. Why not bring us? I want to stay with my golden heart. A man with blonde hair and blue eyes spoke as he held Asia, who was smiling as she first felt guiltily, but after a month she felt nothing but joy being with the man. If Fuijo, her parents don't know about us, most likely that, or they will kill us. Think how I am your brother. Cadio spoke to the figure now known as Fuijo, who is Asia's boyfriend. I guess you're right, but will Taiki and Kaneko be okay? Those 2 don't separate. Fuijo spoke as Akino walked in. She will be fine, I told her it will be only a while, and if she can't be apart from him, it us doomed to fail. Aquino spoke as everyone looked at her with interest. I guess that makes sense, but Aquino, we never see your boyfriend, so where is he? Rias asked her queen and befriend as she never told them who he is. Aquino was silent for a bit before looking at them all serious. I'm with Vale and you should know dragons hate mates being messed with. Aquino spoke, scaring everyone as they were shocked by Vale dating her, but they understood. Okay, well, let's get ready to go. Rias says, getting up as the door opens, showing Zenobia, Kiba, and Gasper. Oh, what's up, guys? Gasper asked, still upset about Issei. We are leaving for the underworld in a few hours, so let's go. Rias says as the three nod, but in the corner Aquino texts someone in secret. We are about to leave, are you ready? She texts, yes I am, don't worry baby, I will be there and show them who they are messing with. The man texts as Aquino puts her phone away, making Yudi think what our fallen hybrid is hiding. A few hours later we see a crimson and black train going through the dimensions with Team Rias Azazel and Team Sona on it. Alright, we should be there soon. Rias spoke to her team. So Gasper, what do you want to do when we get there? Kiba asked, I say let's train for. Gasper said, still down about Issei. Don't worry, we will be stronger for Issei. Zenobia spoke, cheering Gasper up. Guys, why do you think Kaneko is quite? Asia asked everyone. Probably because she can't last away from her boy toy. Zenobia said with venom. That might be it, or it could be a personal matter. Sona spoke. This at my team, so don't Sona. Rias spoke until everyone shivered as the train door opened to show a figure in a black cloak and a crimson tail, and all they could see besides that were beating red eyes. Next to him was Azazel, keeping him back from everyone as they were ready to fight. Everyone calm down, this is a special guest Sirs me Michael and the All-Father wanted to see personally. Azazel spoke as they still were on guard, mainly Rias, as the figure glared his aura at her. May I leave Azazel, I have to meet with my general. The figure spoke in a voice deep and almost like a dragon or a pure devil with full malice. Of course, apologies Mr. Mugen. Azazel spoke as they now know the figure's last name. Mugen. As the figure walked past everyone he pointed his tail, hiding his arms from the group, but aimed it at Gremory. Let me say this, if you think of messing with my faction you die, after all my kind is full of pride and honor you brat, and I heard what you did to Drake, I respected that man. Tisich. Fool. Mugen spoke, leaving the train after saying those words, but leaving everyone confused as how did this man know Drake? A few more moments passed and Sona and her team left and everyone saw the Gremory domain, but as soon as they saw it the train stopped and was covered in flames and a few snakes. What the? I will see what's going on, stay here. Azazel spoke serious but with a lack of worry. But before Rias could speak Azazel left and the train explode, having everyone crash into large mountain with roars and the sound of wings flapping. Ow ow ow, what is this place? Asia and Gasper asked at the same time. I don't know, my brother never told me about this place, but... Rias then looked ahead and saw Gant, Violet and White Drake with gold horns. What the a dragon, everyone get together. Rias yelled as Kiba and Zenobia pulled out their swords and Aquino changed her outfit and spread her wings. However, Kaneko rushed at the dragon, but instead of it hitting her, a man with the same black cloak grabbed her leg and threw her into a mountain and punched her gut, knocking her out cold. Not the hell you dare. Aquino, you and me version him, while Kiba, Gapsur and Zenevai get the dragon. Asia, you heal. Rias spoke as she began to hear laughter. Ha. You think you can win? My general here can beat you, as he won't even need 1% of his power. Same for me. Mugen spoke, catching Rias off guard at that name. That's what Issei used to call me besides Bucho, and how does he know this name? It has to be a coincidence. Rias thought. Mugen spoke as he suddenly with blinding speed went behind them all and knocked Asia out and punched Gasper, keeping him conscious, but he can't focus. There no healing or Baylor view. Mugen spoke calm as he looked at the dragon. Tannen, how about you blast the ground? I am done with these fools. I am late for dinner. I want to arrive a few hours early. Mugen yelled as he showed his left hand, shocking everyone, to show the boosted gear but more red than before, like it's covered in flames. Alright, you got it, man. The dragon Tannen spoke, blasting a meteor st the ground to the shocked ground, who all but Aquino didn't move as they got it hit and were unable to fight as they were outmatched just with one attack. Sai, really, I guess you should have kept me. The figure spoke, taking off his hood to the cloak, showing Issei. With red and brown hair and gold eyes, a black starlight glowed to them. Everyone was shocked. Gasper, Kiba, and Zenobia is happy to see their friend is back. Rias is and shocked. Issei is so stronger while Kaneko and Asia are still knocked out. However, "Babe, I'm glad you're back," Akino yelled, flying to Issei as he smiled, hugging her and her as they embraced to the red shock. After a few moments they broke with a smile. "It's been 4 months too long, Akino." "Indeed it has, baby." The two spoke as they still held each other. "Akino, what the hell are you betraying me?" "Rias, bitch," spoke, shocked as the three still awake, and the two lovers looked on in shock. "No, you betrayed my Issei, and don't bother telling your parents, they already know what you did to my sweet dragon baby Issei." "Ah, babe, you really do care I touched?" "Yes, of course I do, and it was a pain beyond any. Lightspear acting for so long. Where were you while I was alone for months and on the train with these? Not you, Zenobia, you're not one," Akino says as Issei her again to cheer her up. "But you still betrayed me." Rias says, "Is she for real, kid?" Tanin spoke. "I think so, and for the record you're with someone else and she has her own motives. Gremory, besides I wanted to see my little raven after seeing my parents." Issei spoke, Akino on the neck. "Lies, the Hyutas hate you." Rias yelled, waking the others up with her pod aura, but it got cancelled by Issei's aura that was let out with a rise of an eyebrow. "Not the Hyutas women, I am no Hyu, I am Issei Mugen, I am not their son and I have more than one father." Issei snaps before taking breath, letting go of Akino to calm himself. "Isn't that right, Azazel?" Issei spoke as everyone looked above Issei to show Azazel above him. And that's all for now, guys. We will learn about Issei's name and his new power later. I hope you enjoy my army, and let's roar for us to rise. The Lone Dragon Emperor Irina Akino Zenobia Revel Kuroka. Give it a few chapter to explain. The Imperial Dragon Emperor boost. I will shine, divide, strive for my goal ahead. Surge, I will mock my name no longer, as instead I reach for the dream. Issei looks at everyone while they look above him and see Azazel flying down beside him. "Yep, you got it, kiddo." Azazel speaks with a smile. Issei, "Wait, how are you alive? You got stabbed with Ascalon, you left, we thought you killed yourself." Asia spoke as only the leaders and Akino knew Issei was alive, but Kiba, Gasper, and Zenobia had hope. "Well, you none reject in not a devil, take a look." Issei says, speeding his wings, showing on the left side 2 crimson dragon wings with a gold and emerald glow, while the right are devil wings but grayish silver with some black and red scales over them. Everyone was shocked, even Azazel and Tanin, as his aura had holy and demonic aura, but it was mostly dragon. "What the hell are you?" Kaneko yelled, scared. "About 20% devil, 15% angel, and 65% dragon. I am human no more. And you're talking, I can sense who you are, Catgirl." Issei spoke, making Kaneko go silent. Azazel was getting annoyed by them all and glared at them, letting out Hua aura and wings. "That's it, Rs. Issei gave an arm for you. If he didn't, you would be risers right now, while Asia, you would be dead if he didn't beg for your life. What is wrong with you brats? Issei should have let you all die. Now you two and Kaneko leave. Let the guys and the 2 girls who didn't hurt my son talks." Azazel snapped, making everyone look at him shocked at the 3 start to cry and comply as they and Azazel left to Rias' house. Everyone else was in the mountains catching up. "Issei, how's it been?" Kiba spoke with joy as Issei smiled. "Good man, it's great seeing you again," he says as the 2 fist bump. "Hey Issei, what's with cloak?" Gasper asked. "Oh, this, well, I need new clothes. See asterisk, takes off cloak star." Issei has a black jack now sleeves and May holds a red and silver shirt with gold wings and blue stars, but it has holes and burns on it. He wears bronze with black and red lining similar to a flame design. And he wears emerald and silver socks, but only one, as his left one is gone and his shoes are too. Everyone was shocked, but they were more shocked at his muscle and 6-pack along with bis tail S&D claws. Babe gears, claw and tail. Akino reminded as Issei got embarrassed and put them away, and as he did he showed black and violet gloves with a red and emerald dragon and flames design on the back and front of his hands/palms. "Wow, incredible Issei." "Thanks, Gasper." "Gaspy. Wait a minute." Issei spoke as he finally got to get a look at Gasper after he left, and he is wearing guy's clothing for once. "Wow, Gasper, nice look." Issei says, rubbing the kid's hair. "Thanks, Issei," Gasper said. Hey Kiba, can I ask you for help? Issei asked as Kibs looked at him in the eyes. For sure man, what is it? The knight asked worried. Well, I'm marking a sacred gear by hand, but I need some help. Azazel is one which I will ask later, and you are the other as you have sword, Issei explains as he turns to Zenobia. If you want you could help since you wield a true holy sword. Issei spoke, making the two smile, excited to do this. Hey Issei, before we leave, why is your name Mugen? Kiba asked what everyone was thinking. Well, it's what my mother's name means in Japanese, so I took it as I wanted to find her, and until I find her for more than a few minutes this will work. Issei explaining the new last name as everyone smiled. Babe, come in, your aura made me wet, hurry up. Akino spoke sassy. You mean come on, right? Issei asked as Akino smiled, her lips grabbing him by the tail and pulling him. Wait, I need clothes and I need a bath. I will give you a different bath and my clothing to bite off. Akino fought everyone one of Issei's protests. That's the idea, the two spoke as they left. A few hours later, we see a crimson and black room with a large room and calm and relaxing mood to it that a warrior would need to relax with it. Light coming from it until we see in it a Issei fresh out of a shower looking in the mirror. After so long a shower feels nice. Issei says as his left hand glows green. Partner, you did good out there. Drake spoke, surprising Issei. Drake, I thought you were asleep, but I take it you're referring to my rage towards the redhead. Issei spoke with a smile. Yes, indeed, your power has grown since Valley and now you would beat him. Drake spoke as suddenly a gold and red glow formed on Issei's right hand. Indeed, Issei, it truly is incredible, your magic has grown to the limit of a high-class devil, maybe higher. The voice spoke like a heavenly and calm being but yet sounded like a dragon. Issei then summoned two gear arms, one the boosted gear with flames of demonic energy and then the other is a version of the boosted gear but instead of emerald it's red and blue. I didn't think you were awake. Issei speaks to the dragon in the golden gear. True, I wouldn't be, but I felt your power grow which balance out the strain you had on your body, making me wake up again. The dragon known as Z speaks. I see, but why are you awake now? Issei asked, confused. Lemon on the way Issei was questioning the two dragons on his way out of the bathroom, he saw something incredible. Hey my dragon, how about we catch up after 4 months? Akino says seductively. Put without THS costume, holy drag. Z talk to you both later, time to Issei says, turning off his gears and the link with a smile that says more than words. So do you Before Akino could finish, Issei rushed at her and she does the same. For the next few minutes the two couldn't stop, and while they spread their wing until they parted, the ready for some more. Issei says excited while Akino her lips, Era maybe look down because I'm not the only one excited. She says as Issei's eyes look down to see his is trying to break his towel with it ripping it. Well, who needs this? Issei says, throwing off his towel and showing his tail and blade. Amazing. Akino as looks to see it is 12 inches and she moves closer and licka her lips hungry. After 4 months this is so big, I need it, I must have it, I'm so horny. Akino think as her head mouth open towards Issei's lower head and palm stops her as she looks up to see Issei's hand and tail. Heal girl, he'll be patience, it's been 4 months for me too, so let's do this. Issei says with a smile as he released her from his tail to see her big braid she hasn't seen in a long time, but he feels a grab at his tail to see Akino's hand as the two never stopped looking at each other. Don't let go. I want to feel your two tails as you feel me up. Akino says in a cute tone, moving her closer as she breathes heavily. Issei couldn't resist as he looked at her. A fire glowed in his eyes. He wrapped his tail around her neck, not as tight as he did to restrain her, but enough for her to enjoy it while he pushed her lower while he grabbed her, grabbing them. Squeezing two can play like that. Akino says enjoy as she his rod lubing it as he holds it with her grip strong enough for it to be tight and not hurt to bad for dragon. Note that is tight as that is a strong grip for a devil or other creature but weak or soft for dragon. Akino moves her tongue up and down as Issei feels her more and more, slowly lifting them up as Akino from the bottom to the top of the until she reaches the head with her touching it as she looks at Issei. As always, my fallen raven. Issei says, reaching to touch Akino's head, but she slaps his hand away, looking at him. No touching, my darling dragon, only tighten that tail as these fun bags do the rest. Aquino says as Issei smirks, tightening his grip and placing scales around his arms and legs and around his crouch as his grew from 12 to 14 inches, shocking Aquino as Issei chuckled. What's wrong, I thought you? Before Issei could finish, he noticed Aquino was drooling as she placed her around the scaled with hearts in her eyes. I will take care of this. Aquino spoke as she started moving her up and down his and moving them all around as Issei began to and go red as Aquino it more and more. It was water and itch or hasn't drank in years. POV outside. As everyone of Rias' peerage was looking around the house, the maids were whispering to each other as they saw Rias confusing her, but what shocked her more is when her nephew Milicus walked right past her and went oh say hi to all but Kaneko and Asia, hurting Rias' feelings. Milicus, you've grown so much. Kiba says, rubbing the lad's hairs as he chuckles. Thanks, come on. The little redhead said as he ran, and everyone walked behind him, but as they passed a door with the sounds of creaking, and from it Zenobia stopped and saw something, making her smile as everyone else was with Milicus. Grandma, Aunt Rias is here. He says. He rushes in to hug a brown-haired woman in a white dress, and big my what poor behavior, I see they are here, welcome Rias. Rias' mother says in a dull and empty tone. Hello Lady Venelana/mother. Everyone says, bowing as Lady Venelana looks around confused as they get up. Rias, didn't you have another night, and where's Aquino? She asked, confused as everyone else had no clue as they looked around. She is probably giving Zenobia a tour. Shall we get ready for dinner? Rias asked as Venelana sighed. Of course, but we have a few guests, including your brother Surzex. Venelana said, shkoking everyone but mainly the three who betrayed Issei, as they haven't seen him since the summit. That feels good. They all hear with a yell as they seem confused, but then Rias's eyes widened. Say, she growled. Back in the room. As Zenobia watches outside, she sees Aquino and Issei go at it. Aquino, you are good. Issei says as Aquino then stops and smirks, opening her mouth and putting her head down, taking as much of the in her mouth as she can, going lower and lower, shocking Issei and Zenobia, who are looking in shock as Zenobia FE the entire thing in her mouth. God girl. I'm sorry, my turn. Issei says as Aquino looks confused, but he grabs her, spanking it and tightens his tail's grip to make her not move as he up and down slow to fast as her make Aquino's eyes go wide, making her mind go blank. Aquino, you're so good. So tight with your mouth. He says, going faster and putting more force into it until he stops midway and grabs her legs. Here you go, Issei says, flipping Aquino onto the bed, keeping his tail around her neck and spreading her legs as he sees her soaking wet. Well, let's break this. Issei says, going faster and faster and using his mouth and hands to play with making the drool from her lower lips go down her legs and hips. Aquino, him. About to. Issei says, reeling his head back as Aquino's liquids burst out as his goes in her mouth like a flooding ocean enter her. After a few moments, Issei takes his tail away from Aquino's throat and is out of her mouth and gets up, leaving the fallen in bliss, and she swallows all she took in. Whoa, that was AMA. Zing. Issei says, turning around to see Zenobia closing the door and striping. Hey, hold up, how did you get in here? Magic, Durandal broke eye. It was unlocked. Zenobia interrupts as Issei depends on his own forgetfulness. Ha. Too horny to think as always. Dryag laughs, mocking Issei. I agree, I thought a heat phase didn't make you dumb. Z spoke, acting confused as he roasted Issei. You overgrown lizards and the one in my legs. Issei spoke as he then felt something pull him down to the broken bed, and as he was down he tried to get up. He was tied with 2 wires of magic on each limb. As Issei looked, he saw Aquino up with her fallen and devil wings spread, and Zenobia with a smile and her devil wings out. Girls, how about you let me go? And before Issei could finish, Zenobia went to Issei and Aquino went above Issei's, which was still AF. Time for me to take some meat in my diet. Aquino says, sitting on Issei's as it enters her, making and break the this is amazing. I ain't complaining about the 4 months no more. Issei think as Zenobia gets up and shows her sitting on his face. So yes, Issei, you're so thick and long. Aquino says as she bounces up and down harder and harder as she feels Issei inside her. Oh Issei, you so good, you're my joy and my Zenobia as Issei her lower lips, and the girls look at each other going full French like a supernatural heat phase as Issei makes them feel so good. Issei/baby I'm going to the girls yell as both and Issei fills up Akino with the two falling off Issei and breaking the bed more as they go on the floor. That was so good the girls say as Issei breaks from his binds and get up. Well girls time for some fun. Issei says with a smile as outside they hear Lemon end. A few hours later. Damn Issei don't go the entire day. Everyone was at the dinner table with even Azazel while they what for Surzex and their guest. Mom Dad where is this guest you're talking about? Rias asked as her parents Grafia and Azazel looked angry until the door opened. Issei looked but ad red with brown in the hair. Mother father sorry I'm late I was busy. Issei says walking and fixing his shirt shocking the Gremory team. It's alright son did you have fun? Venelana asked making Issei go red. What do you? Issei says rubbing his head as two people come from behind Issei as he sits down next to Venelana and Zeoticus. Ow Issei next time be gentle. Zenobia says limbering out, yeah we're lucky you had those fine tears. Akino says as she then stops and cracks her back and so does Zenobia and they walk normal again. Rias gets up from her seat as they walk in glaring at Issei. How the hell do you know my parents hired you you've never been here? Rias yells as Issei ignores here while the adults glare at her making her sit down as Akino and Zenobia sit down next to Issei. Akino on his left and Zenobia the right as Issei is in the second seat from Rias's parents if you wondered while they hold his hands. Sorry babe your stamina was greater than we expected next time we will try to keep up. The two say making all his exes red and Azazel laugh. Yeah oops good things I had those. Issei said sheeply. Sigh those tears were meant for battle. Grafia spoke as Issei looks at her, Eve been battling for 4 months and yet I needed that, needed what? Milikis asked making Issei jump up as he went crimson. Nothing. Nothing wait till you're 4-0 to know and be like Uncle Azazel the Virgin. Issei spoke in shock but then laughs until he and Azazel begin to wrestle gut punch, elbow drop and chalk slam. As everyone watched this it made them laugh seeing those two act like father and son. Sit or no food. Grafia spoke as the two rushed and began to eat. So Kiba. Want to talk about what I said before? Issei says as he stops eating making Azazel and Rias curious. Sure so what's up? Kiba asked. I am thinking of making an artificial sacred gear of the factions but so not just anyone can use I was thinking of making it a sword not armor. Issei say getting everyone interested by his plan like he had experience. That could work so my sword and balance breaker is what you need to test it and hello forge it well I'm all in as long as I'm not a test dummy. Kiba says making him and Issei laugh. I hope you don't mind me interrupting but I think if you want that to work you need to add power from every faction and in since Eve made plenty of gear if you'll have me. Azazel says as they turn to him. Of course sensei I would honored and I was planning on adding the 4 factions into 3 energies as Zenobia and can help add holy power. Issei says confusing everyone. Looks like the perv dumb as ever there are 3 factions only. Asia says as Issei glares at her focusing dragon and holy aura at her Rias and Kaneko while he makes the holy power a comfort to Zenobia. For your information Argentio I'm forging the dragon faction thus why I am here besides visiting mother and father. Issei says as the 3 look down in fear but Akino smirks. Era and I thought you came to see me. Akino said as Issei turned and her cheek, yes I'm always here for you my fallen raven. Issei says making Azazel chuckle. As far as you've changed you charm the ladies the same as always. Azazel says as he and Zeoticus smirk flustering Issei. Thanks dads I learned from the best. Issei says as Rias gets up, what about if you're so much of charmer you wouldn't have been a perview Rias yells as all the men and Issei sigh. Do you know what being alone does to people Gremory because I've changed for the better no thanks to you. Issei says getting up shocking the 3 and for your information after Irina left when we were kids I felt alone and the hiatus never cared for me so I became a perv so people would notice me unlike a brat like you who got everything but the right marriage Issei yells as Rias' father gets up. Children calm down Zeoticus says as Rias sits. Yes father, Issei says but Azazel smirks getting an idea, you know all this needs to be let out in bed. Azazel says as Issei growls and lets out his arm turning it into a dragon one with sharp claws slashing at Azazel, how about you shut the up? Issei snapped, at least am not of a fallen consumed by old man. Issei says with rage shocking them. Oh really, at least am not a boy who gave us all a heart attack while dealing with the boy toys. Azazel yells, shocking Issei and making everyone silent. You met them? Good, I don't need to hunt them. Issei says with a smile, scaring everyone. And that's it, I hope you enjoy it, and sorry about the wait, I had personal stuff and I have exams next week before school is over, so I'm everywhere, but am trying for you guys as we SRE the ruined dragon army. The lone dragon emperor King Issei Lucifuge Muganakino Queen Zenobia Knight Nofumi Rook Rosweiss Rook Melodias Bishop Kuroka Bishop Kirito Knight Pawn of 4 not angered Drex, similar to Issei, Drex Armor Promotion Mode, Angered, Drex Wrath Mode. Promotion/Armor Wrath Mode. The Imperial Dragon Emperor boosted as Come Divide Hide no longer surge, we will be back as the strongest yet again. Everyone was shocked and confused with Issei's smile as he was told Azazel knew where Kadio Fuijo and Taiki were. Well, I guess if you know Azazel them they must be at Kuo Tisich. Figured if I leave you bring filth in my town. Issei says looking at Rias as she comes yo her senses and gets up, your town Kuo my territory Issei, so know your place. Rias snapped as Issei then began to laugh like a demon, scaring everyone, and Milicus hid near Gratvia due to it. Your mind superior, I should know my place, well maybe I should say something Rias since I'm in your family. Issei spoke leaving the table as both his arms glowed. I don't obey you. Issei roared letting out a large burst of aura and bloodlust at the door, but before he left he looked at everyone, and if I'm in your family I have to be adapted with a name added, right sis? Issei says looking at Graphia as she nods, making Rias's eyes widen knowing the last name. No. You can't be serious. Rias spoke as Akino was even scared while everyone else of the peerage was confused as Graphia viewed Issei as a brother already, so how does a name change it? I am Issei Lucifuge Mugen, the Red Dragon Emperor and Holy Dragon Emperor. Issei states as he summons his 2 gears and spreads his tail and wings, letting out a level of power equal to a ultimate class devil. But how? Well, enjoy dinner. Apologies mother and father and sensei, I have something to do, but let's just say my news will affect everyone in the supernatural world including Norse, yokai and Greek mythologies. Issei says as he leaves with the maids bowing. That can't be, mother is. But Rias was silenced as the glares from everyone made her look down, and the same for Asia and Kaneko. Azazel, while we train may I talk to you in private? Kiba asked. Of course, but let's eat as Issei has stuff to worry about. Azazel says as he looks to see Akino sad. Hey, it's okay young fallen, he needs to get some rest, but he wants you to get strong but not force you to, and I will accept that by adding it to your training. Azazel says making Akino smile as that eat. POV, a faraway mountain. We see many mountains with incredible winds, and below it a wasteland with small mountains and a massive cave, and miles away we see Issei flying towards the mountains with a crimson, gold and emerald glow around him as his eyes glow, one red AMD black and the other green and black. That brat am going to be if she thinks she can get away with anything and succeed. Issei thinks in rage as he stops and flies down to see the same cave from earlier and go in it. Phew, maybe I can relax, Issei says, throwing his shirt and spreading his wings and scales as he looks further in his cave and smirks, running towards the dark and flying, then doing rolls in the air as he saw light a few miles away, making him increase his speed and become wrapped in flames as HR passive burn marks in the cave, claw marks, holes and an old Kuo uniform which was his covered in, and the faster he got the closer he was to the other side of the cave, but as made it the light and fresh air. Of the outside we saw blueprints and ideas in a section of the cave for something called Omega. Okay, time for the roar, Issei said as he jumped outside, entering his iconic balance breaker A. He saw millions of dragons from old to youth and even younglings and eggs waiting for him as Tannen was next to his cave. Ready, partner? Drake spoke with confidence. Hell yeah, Issei thought. My kind us dragons have hidden for too long, so now I think it's time we grow stronger and have a happy life for our younglings and hatchlings, as in a few months I will show them what we are. Issei roared with dragons cheering as he turned around and went back into his cave as Tannen followed with a bright red glow shined as Issei turned of his balance breaker and entered a larger area of his cave with marks on the wall and cracks near a bag. Not just that, as there were scales on the ground formed into the hilt of a sword with broken ones in the shadows showing Issei has been trying to make weapons. They loved it. Hearing speak always fuels them with hope. Tannen says as Issei goes to a wall and nods as he looks down. Are you still affected by the falling? Tannen spoke in concern as Issei looked up. Yeah, but bleeding from one eye and nightmares won't hurt me. I'm not an evil dragon after all. I'm the red dragon, a new dragon. Issei spoke, giving a smirk as the two began to laugh as Issei grabbed an apple and Tannen a bottle. Seems like we both had dragon apple items. Don't worry Tannen, I will find us land for more. But Issei then silent as he didn't know what to say until he say Tannen looking at him. You want to talk about the summit, right? Are you okay? The Dragon King asked the young dragon. Fine, but I think I should either hate all or not, but that would make me no better than an evil dragon or the past host, let alone Gremory. Issei said with venom in his voice. It's alright kid, I know I think you hate them, but you don't know to feel because I might change my mind about peace and I don't want that. Issei interrupted as Tannen smiled. Then make a change to your announcement, make them see things out how our kind does. Tannen spoke as Issei smirked as his eyes no longer glowed as the two had the dragon apples and wine full of joy for the next month. Over time Issei would train with Tannen or Saji as they both are still rivals, but he outclasses him yet gives advice for his dragon side and pawn promotions which showed respect towards the two. He also went to see Kiba AMS Gasper at times, along with going to different labs to make the artificial gear with Azazel and Kiba with some help from Zenobia and Ajuka as Issei used his scales and Kiba's sword to forth a dragon and booster handle for the blade, but were working on the gem for the energy of the factions and the blade itself, which Zenobia gave the idea to make out of the scales of the balance breaker and pure energy of the user or factions, similar to her holy swords letting out energy, which made the process easier but yet not finished as they need a metal or element as the blade to conduct the power of the factions and a gem. Besides that, the plan was set for Project Omega until the day came. So why am I here again with you guys? Issei asked as he was in the summit hall, but with Team Rias and Sona to his anger. We are your bodyguards till you enter, even if you have Drake. Sona explained, making Issei rub his head. Still, come on, I can take care of myself besides. Issei then stops and snaps his fingers, letting out a red glow, a circle summing Tannen but the size of human. I have my general, you all make sure everyone Essel is taken care of. Issei said, walking past as the two left. Rias looked at him, clenching her fist. How can I get him to obey? POV in the hall. Issei rested on the wall with a crowd of many around waiting as he smiled, feeling Serzex near as he never met him in this new dragon hybrid body. So Zex made it. Tannen, go check and see if they need help before I make it up there. I heard the Allfather is coming, I want peace with him as it will be our first meet. Issei explains as Tannen smirks. Of course, glad to see you wanting to make peace. The dragon said as he left Issei, but as he did a little girl walked over to him. Excuse me, Red Dragon Emperor Issei. A familiar voice spoke, making Issei turn and smirk. Revel, it's been some time, how's Riser? Issei teased as he recalled the fight he had. Sigh, he was in bed Afriad of Dragon Actali, but he heard about you and changed, he fought his fear so he could meet you again. Revel explained, shocking Issei as Riser changing. He only thought that and women went in the same sentence as he had, yet he was happy. That's good, hope I see him, but what about you? He asked, making her blush. I'm good, I was worried so I gave letters to the Gremory family just to be safe and… Here. She says, giving him a small container, making Issei blush. What is this, you're too young for that. Issei spoke as he made Revel blush and hit him. It's not that, it's a Fionex Tear one, so we put it in that. She explained, making Issei feel better. Sorry, never ordered one, but getting it from a cutie helps. He says, hugging her, shocking her. You didn't know about Rias, so I don't hate any of you, in fact I care for you, Revel, hope we can go out sometime. Issei said as he broke the hug and left to the table for his faction. Tannen, come here. Issei snaps as he came over. Yes, kiddo. Are they watching me? Issei asked as Tannen looked at Team Rias, who had two girls looking at him, a blonde and a redhead. Yep, the traitors, but where's the cat? Tannen asked as Issei. I placed a sweet trap, now she is stuck in her room, or wait, is there a box over there? Issei asked. Yep, then yes, she is stuck in that, I used Gasper's but with seals on it. Issei explained with smile. Great, now Sir Odin said he is on his way, but he said Loki wanted to come, but when he heard about you and he got scared hearing you're a dragon who was a devil who can kill gods and is a hybrid of 3 factions. Tannen explained as Issei began to laugh. Seriously, I think I stopped her attack knowing the sound of visit after all Valley just visited. Issei smirked as he got up looking forward. Alright, you can go back, but keep everyone informed, we must stay on guard. Issei told Tannen as he left to inform Hus fellow dragons. Okay, we have a few hours until my speech and me meeting the Elf-Father. What do I do now? Issei thought as a red-headed girl in a white and black dress with a red flower in it walked to him. Excuse me, are you Issei Hayadu? The girl asked as Issei turned to see her and was surprised for a minute as she looked like Rias. Picture what O said, yeah, that's me. And you are? Issei asked Kofus, seeing Rias in this red head. Mio Nara's Rias's cousin. Nice to meet you formally. This time I saw you fight Riser, but you seem different from then. Mio spoke, seeing how Issei is looking serious but confused at her. Have you heard? Issei asked the cousin, know about what, did something happen? Mio continued to ask as Issei sighed in annoyance. So the word never got out. Issei whispered in the range of Mio but not in the range of everyone else. Now I'm confused. Explain, I moved to visit my cousin Sirorg and spend time with him, so I don't know what's going on. Mio spoke, pouting. Anyway, let's change the subject. What are you doing, Mio-chan? Issei said, making the young devil blush. I wanted to see my cousins and little Milicus, he has grown so much, but what about you? She said, not letting go of the topic. I am here to give an announcement, a special announcement actually. Issei said with a smile, making Mio smirk. Oh really, is the Red Dragon Emperor getting married? She teased, making Issei become serious. No, not yet. Issei said, shocking Mio, noticing how serious he got. Okay, I will wait for your speech and then we will talk. Mio said as Issei smiled, seeing she is better than Rias. It's fine, we can talk, but not here, let's somewhere private. Issei said, moving towards the exit as Mio followed. Alright, but I hope Rias doesn't mind me saying you're kinda cute, Issei. Mio says as Issei stops, well, her L. Plus. Issei said, blushing. What do you mean her loss? Nothing, let's go. Issei says as she follows him. POV outside. Issei and Mio were out in the shade outside as Issei closed his eyes to sense for Odin, who was still about a half hour away. Okay, so why outside? I mean, what do you need to tell me? Mio asked, confused. So how much do you know about me and the Mio? Issei spoke with curiosity. Well, you fought for almost losing your life and she was supposed to be your bride. Mio said as Issei opened his eyes looking at her. Yes, that is true. Well, one thing happened after that. Her Asia and Kaneko all betrayed me and were cheating on me, and I found out during the summit of the 3 powers and I left her. Issei clenching his fist in anger as his eye began to hurt from the falling. Oh no, you're so cute and kind, why the here would she? Mio says, and instantly covering face and blushing as she released, she called Issei kind and cute. Thanks, you're cute too, but she thought I was a reek, while Akino and Zenobia still love me and I'm with them, and I don't hate the others, only the 3, and because of that I left her peerage, you see, and I became part of her family by being adapted as a thank you for everything and a love you from her family. Now I am Issei Lucifuge Mugen. Issei explains, shocking Mio as she grabbed his shoulders, shacking him. You're a Lucifuge? Mio yelled in shock and amazed at the same time, asking Issei. Yes, but I'm that, so people don't think I married Rias by taking the Gremory name. However, in a sense I left the devil faction, but no fully. Issei answered Mio with a smile, but the devil girl got an idea. Wait, you have a few mates, and that means more mates equal children means your household can bloom? Mio asked as Issei smirked, giving a thumbs up. Correct, you're smart, unlike another redhead I know. Issei says as his smile turns to anger as he looks at her. So do you know how I became a devil? Issei asked, leaving no response for a few moments until Mio looked at his eyes. How did you turn? Mio asked as Issei then explained Rias knowing about Raynare but letting him die, Asia's death and his PTSD of love and heartbreak. Your cousin did all that, but the white dragon helped explain it all. Issei explains as Mio chuckles. So the white dragon can be called the dragon of truth. Mio jokes as Issei and Drake groan in anger as the hate for Valley and Albion is forever, but Issei does let out a small chuckle. And Rias, the devil of lies, and no offense to you as you're nothing like her besides the hair. Didi, you're charming with words. Mio says, thinking Issei is a charmer. Thanks, same with your looks, but now that I told you everything, do you hate me? Issei asked in sorrow, but he felt warmth as he felt a hug from Mio. No, I don't hate you. The fact of the matter is I kinda like you and your good heart. Mio says as the two both become red. Just say the words, Issei. Drake said with a smirk. But don't you have a mate of your own? Issei asked in confusion, not wanting to be a Rias, as Mio chuckled. Actually no, you see, I'm part of the redhead Gremory side, and I'm gonna quote my mom's words here because she told me mommy only wants you to mate with strong, powerful males. You catch your heart? Mio says, making Issei as red as his partner. Well, if you want, I could be that male. Issei says, making Mio blush. You will? Yes, us dragons have many mates, and if it's alright with me asking, Rias never said how come you have pod energy. Issei asked as he thought Anki, Rias, and Zex had it due to their rank. Pod. It runs in the family, silly. Mio spoke with a chuckle, making Issei think. Wait, if that's the case, Milkaz could beat Rias when he is older. Anyway, let's go back. Are you ready to hear my speech? Issei said, walking. Of course. Mio spoke as the two made their way inside. POV inside. We see Rias and her team watching the room and the door, staying on guard as asked, but for Rias she watches for Issei, and like God is back, Issei walks in, and to Rias' shock and joy with Mio too, as she hasn't seen her cousin in so long. I will back. I see Odin up front with Surzex. I should tell him about us dragons so I can make peace. Issei says, leaving, waving to Mio, but as he left, Hell walks over. Sit. Cousin. Hey, wait. Rias yells for Issei, but Mio saw her and tries to fake joy after what Issei told her. Gasp, Rias. Mio, how have you been? Rias asked with joy, seeing her again. Gee. Good, Rias. Stay happy. Be my mate, I love you. Mio says to Rias, thinking of Issei making her happy. You know, me and Issei are training for future raiding games, maybe you can join us. Rias says, lying, thinking she can still use Issei. Sure. Mio says as it gets harder for her to be calm. Great, hope you get a mate soon so we have a double wedding. After all, me and Issei are getting married soon. Rias lies more, not knowing how Issei talked to Mio. Welk, actually am getting married. Rias says with a chuckle. Do I know him? Yep, you do. The two talk as someone walks to them. Flashback as they talked. Walked over to the front as he saw Surzex, Azazel, Michael, Odin, and Irina, and a woman with long silver hair and in a business suit. Excuse me, did you miss me, brother? Issei says, making everyone look at him, and Azazel smirked, knowing Surzex will go wild, while Irina cried and Michael was smiling bright, and Surzex rushed at Issei, hugging him, shocking the dragon. I know everything Azazel told me. I missed you, brother. Surzex said as Issei hugged back, and after a while they broke it. So you're the dragon leader, Issei? Seraphal said, walking from behind, shocking everyone along with Ajuka behind her. Stop the jokes. Ain, yes I am. My faction will be back if that's okay, Surzex. I want peace, and before I was a fellow devil, but now I am a fellow leader. Issei JD, as the 5 beings who fought in the war smirked, happy to see his growth. Oh, my apologies, Father Odin. My name is Issei Lucifuge Mugen, this generation's Red Dragon Emperor and leader of the Dragon faction. Pardon me not introducing myself. Issei says, bowing in a form of respect as he felt a shoudler on his hand. No need to bow, Red Boy, you are a dragon. I should bow. I am glad to see a strong and kind Red Dragon joining us leaders. If it's alright, I got your call about peace. May we talk after our speeches? Odin says, reaching out a hand. Of course, Father. Issei is shaking his hand and leaving to see his mates. So this is Issei, he seems to be a great leader. The future is in great hands. The woman says. Indeed, Rosweiss, indeed. Odin says as we know the woman's name. Back to the present. Hey, bib. Issei says, walking to the 2 redheads, making Rias get the idea to keep up with the lie. Hello, bib. Hello, bib. Mio yelled, hugging Issei as the 2 began to French, leaving Rias speechless. Issei, am right here. Rias says, trying to play being hurt, which she might be partly hurt, but she wants to know what is going on. So dinner after training? Issei asked, ignoring Rias. Yes, but please nowhere here until I show you around. You're here for a few more days, right? Mio asked. Hey, I'm right here. Rias yelled. Sure, anything for you because I'm your fiancé. Issei says with a smirk, shocking and breaking Rias. Thanks, sweet thing. Mio said as they looked at Rias. Fiancé. Oh hey cousin, didn't think you were still here. Yes, meet my fiancé. Mio says pointing to Issei. Sup again, and I am asking Surzex to stop the marriage, but he probably has after Azazel talked to him. Issei said, making Rias angry. Hello again, Issei. So you're getting married. You do know you will only see her in the underworld. Rias says, trying to break them up. Who says that? The two-est. My brother, of course, and was Riser. Issei cuts off, tired of lies. Was he stuck here and he owes me, so shut it. Issei says, leaving to make his speech. You're just jealous because she is more gorgeous than you. Issei says as he leaves. Era. A familiar Fallen says as she Zenevai and Ravel see Issei and Mio at Rias. Small alert. Aquino says. I will say he found someone needing love. Like I need that though. Ravel said, blushing. Sure girl, but this is getting good, and hey, here comes the speech. Zenobia says as Issei walks up. Lattice and gentlemen, angles, devils and fallen, I'm here to welcome peace as we the three factions separated merged in alliance of peace months ago, and now I wish to let the Owl Father and the Red Dragon leader of the Dragon faction come up for peace. Surzex speaks as Issei and Odin walk up. I am here for peace, I wish to fight so I lose nothing anymore. Well said, Red Boy, I wish my home's safety as we the five of us together are strong. Odin and Issei spoke with a smirk and nod at each other, having hope. I am happy to hear that, but move the show along. Azazel said, making some laugh. Now please place your hands on the tablet if you would, so this is official. Surzex spoke as Odin moved forward, but Issei didn't as all eyes looked at him. Pardon, but I don't want any lies, Em. May I have the floor to make a speech so I know if I can still be worthy of your trust? Issei asked as the leaders nod, ready to hear him. I am Issei Lucifuge Mugen, the Red Dragon Emperor of this generation and leader of the Dragon faction, but before that I was named Issei Hayadu, a human turned into a devil with no choice, but I am not part of the devils no more, besides being a team with Surzex and Tannen. Issei says, confusing and causing talk to go around. Long ago at the Peace Summit I learned that Surzex was lied to. I was lied to about my reincarnation. You see, I was killed by a rogue Fallen, but she was my first love and she was in Kuo, and Rias never killed her till I died and I was her pawn and awaked my gear, then she killed her. But she used me for riser. I lost my arm for my balance breaker as I was trained, but not enough, so I needed to trade my limbs, and after I set her free, she, Asia and Kaneko all cheated on me in secret, and I was told the truth of everything at the Peace Summit of the Three Powers, so now I will make this right. You all can hate me, but don't hate the Gremory family as they took me in, but Rias Gremory, I challenge your team to rating game 1 to decided who will be the guardian of Kuo as you are unfit, and if I win leave me alone along with my mates. Issei roared as everyone was silent, but after a while they cheered, hearing him say his heart's feelings and the past. Sorry, now may I? Issei asked. Of course, Issei. Surzex said as he signed the tablet and smiled as his gowl of peace was made. Hey, that's not nice to say about me. A voice said, making Issei clench his fist and whisper. Raynare. That's all for now, guys. Sorg, if you may not like it, my other stories are more canon, but this one is a wild one I hope you enjoy. The Imperial Dragon Emperor boost I am divide you are Surge a fool. After Issei signed then tablet, he left the stage with everyone, a mix of quiet and cursion. How to feel about all this? Now everyone, let us enjoy the rest of evening as we have now made peace between two other factions. Surzex says as everyone continues to talk and laugh like before, but Issei goes to see Lord Odin. Hello Lord Odin, if it's alright may I ask you about a deal of my faction and yours? Issei asked, piquing Rosweiss and Odin's interest. Alright, go ahead, I did say we would talk. Odin says as Issei smiles. Well, like Tannen, who is a dragon and devil, I wanted to make peace by you having a member of your faction join me, as I can learn more about you all and they would learn about my faction. Issei says with hope Odin will agree. Alright Red Boy, but how will they become dragon? Odin asked. I too would wish to know, Mr. Mugen. Rosweiss said as Issei spreads his wings, showing devil and dragon, but one with angel power. I was once devil as I said, but I can ask a juka for my pieces so I can get a peerage and be strong enough to protect my own. Issei explains as with his current power he is high to ultimate class rank, thus he deserves them. Alright, I accept, but it's the person's choice. She is someone I trust. Rosweiss. Odin says, shocking the two. Me Lord Odin, are you sure? I don't know if I would be useful. She says as Issei laughs. Ha, come on, nobody is useless as long as they have heart. Issei says, cheering up the Valkyrie. I agree, but Issei was it. Take care of her, she is my most trusted Valkyrie. Odin says, making said Valkyrie start to cry. I will. Issei says as the two shake hands and smile as they saw goodbye so Rosweiss can pack. Well, that was better than thought. Okay, I'm off. Issei says as he walks towards the exit. Oh no, you don't, Issei. Saji and Kiba. Say, grabbing him. What the hell? I need to get ready to go home tomorrow and I must tell my faction the news. Issei says to the laughter of Zeoticus, Surzex and Azazel walking to him. What's so funny? Issei asked, a little spooked. Well, since we made peace relatively gick, I say, how about I guys day with drinking and time to catch up at the hot springs? Surzex with a figure walking to him. I agree to that. A man with black hair, armor, and the aura of a fallen spoke as Issei glared at him. Yes, with the sparks. Issei glared at man, letting out flames around him as the man let out sparks as Issei knew this would happen. So you're Issei? The fallen asked. Yes, and you must be Barakil. Aquino told me about you. Issei says as the two calm their powers as they both smirk. Well, I'm glad my daughter is in good hands, thank you, Issei. Barakil says, being Aquino's father, as he bows, but Issei stops him. No, hold up, no need to bow to me, I should bow to you, after all you are her father. Issei says as he makes them laugh, and Drake and Z smirk with pride as Issei has grown and come to respect others much more than before. Alright, Issei, farewell. The fallen father says, but gets stopping by a hand from Issei. Wait, we are having a guys' night, want to come? He asked as the man was confused. It's okay, I'm going to. Azazel said with a smirk. Alright then, I will be right back. Barakil said, leaving as Issei walked back to his friends. So Gasper, what's with the clothes? You need to tell me. Issei joked as the vampire laughed. Ha, I will tell you once you tell me about the scales. Gapser pointed out, making them smirk. Fair enough, little bro, Issei said, messing with his hair. Oh, and Kibs, I think I got Omega good to go, but I will be working on it for a while. Issei said, making Azazel's and Kiba's eyes widen. You're telling us, dude. Agreed, kid, and we need to talk about the new dragon arm. The two said as everyone, guys, began to leave for the springs as Issei stopped to talk to Zex. Bro, sorry I have been gone a while, but we can talk at springs, right? Issei asked. Of course, and I might bring my cousin and Riser just so you can scare him. Surzex joked. Alright, see you there, I just need to ask Mom and Grafia something. Issei said, rushing off, making the leader smirk, but then frown as he saw a spark of violet glow on Issei's arm as it changed to blue. Hey, you coming, old fool. Azazel joked. Yes, me and father are, but I'm younger than you, old perv. Surzex said as the two left, getting the others for guys' night. Okay, now asterisk makes a communication circle asterisk. Hey, we made peace, but I will be leaving tomorrow. Could you two make sure nothing bad happens down here while I'm gone? Issei asked as he had smirk on his face. Yes, sure, but why are you leaving? A male voice asked, different than Tannen. Because he is going to the human world back home. Tannen explained as Issei walked and talked. No, it's home not anymore, I just have business there as I plan on getting that territory, if not getting more of ours back. Issei said, making the two chuckle. Alright sir, me and Tannen will take care of things. The unknown man said. Good, and Drex, when I get my pieces you will be my pawn as not one is left behind. Issei says as we know the voice and its name as he hangs up the circle. Okay, that's done. Issei says as he bumps into someone and hits the floor. Hey, watch. Issei says he looks up to see Grafia. Sorry Issei, are you okay? Grafia asked, helping him up. Yeah, just had business to do and I wasn't looking. Issei says as the two laugh. Oh sis, that reminds me, could Mio and Irina along with Ravel come with you to girls' night? They are my mates and Irina is close. Issei says as the queen smirks. Oh course. Great, thanks, asterisk hugs her asterisk. Well, got to go. Issei says, breaking the hug, but as he does his right arm glows blue and back to normal as Issei leaves. Plan worked. Issei thinks as he looks to show he is forming ice for us to know he took power like he did with Valley. Yes partner, now we work on a weapon, right? Z asked as he heard laughs. Not yet, he has many to make, but the ice and our flames are the key for most of it. Dryag says as Issei walks out to see the sky and see a Juka. Talk later guys. Issei thinks, leaving the link. The Juka is that you. Issei yells as he goes to the Devil King with a smirk. Hello Issei, how can I help you? A Juka said, landing on the ground, putting his wings away. Well, first, what were you doing? He asked, confused, never seeing any devil fly or stretch with their wings in hell. Well, with this stress of getting the meeting taken care of, I needed to stretch my wings a bit. A leader is always busy, as you know. A Juka says, making Issei laugh. True my friend, but may I ask you something? Issei asked, piquing the Devil King's interest. Of course, what is it? Acher asked. Well, I was planning on asking, as a leader and part devil, may I get my pieces, as dragon devil holy pieces will take a very long time and need a lot of research after my energy makes them. Issei explains, to the shock of the Beelzebub. Of course I will take care of them, but I will call you when we can make them. A Juka explained. Alright, thank you, and I must go, farewell. Issei says as he begins to spread all his wings to leave, and a Juka can only smirk seeing this all happen. Okay, almost time to be at the hot spring. Issei says as his arms glow. Partner, I have shocking news about the ice magic. Drake spoke, stopping Issei. What? It may have formed fast, but what? Issei asked. Well, I looked into it and seems like you had some of a few different magics deep down locked up and needed contact with them, and with my fire you had your formed, but the ice merged with the Devil Queen. Drake spoke. What the? Dryag, warn me next time, how much do I have sealed? Issei asked in shock and amazement. Well, from what I sense, you also have thunder power and a form of fallen and angel magic for light spears, but different as you are unable to make it like normal. Z explained, to Issei's interest. Well, I have no clue what to say, but I need to go or I will be late. Issei says as he flies towards the hot springs at max speed. POV 3 hours later. Phew, I needed this. Issei says, relaxing in the hot springs, looking towards the night sky with a smile, until he suddenly feels a splash of water go towards him. Sorry about that, Issei. A voice says as Issei turns to see Kiba as he dries his face off to see him and Gasper on the other side with Saji as well. Hey guys, glad you made it, but why the sneak attack? Issei asked as they made him have wet hair. Well, payback for being gone so long. Saji said, smirking. Hell yeah, brothers fight together and you need to tell us everything. Kiba said with a smile as he and Gasper were curious. Hey, calm down, eh? Hey, let them talk, kiddo, after all we all feel that way. A familiar voice said as Issei turned to see Azazel Surzex, Zeoticus, Riser Barakiel, and a male with black hair and a impressive build. Azazel, glad you're here, and Father Ensign, glad to see you. Issei said, getting up, seeing a bag in Azazel's and Zeoticus' hands. Wait, is that? Issei asked before he was interrupted by Riser and the male in front of him. The man? Hello, Red Dragon, it's been a while. Riser spoke with a smirk. Hello, Burnt Chicken, how's your head still hurt after our fight? Issei teased as he recalled punching Riser in the gut and using holy water on Riser's head to stop his healing. Hey, Riser was getting annoyed, but he knew he way right, but he wanted a rematch for him to become stronger. Hello, Issei, was it? The man asked. I am in you. He asked as Issei say the man reach out his hand for a handshake. Bale. Serorg Bale, im Rias cousin and heir to the Bale house. Serorg explained as the two smiled and shook hands. Oh, Yed Mio told me about you, I am so glad you could keep my fiancé, I'm good hands. Issei said, making Azazel and the two older fathers drop the bear. Luckily it didn't break, and making the guys be shocked and slip completely under the water, including Riser, while only Surzex and Serorg were able to stay focused in his words. Why? You're getting MAR. Surzex asked with a shook voice as everyone got up and grabbed the beer, looking at Issei as he let go of the Bale's hand. Issei said. The Mu walked over to Issei, hugging him to his shock, and suddenly same for Azazel and Zeoticus, while Kiba and the others besides Riser cheered while Riser smiled and laughed. Oi, now it's time to drink our off as he party with Issei for his marriage and his welcome backs. The guys yelled as Issei blushed embarrassed and smiled, taking a beer and laughing. For the next few hours the guys drank and talked about what all Issei did and found out he traveled through the Welsh lands to see Drake's home and his dragon self and use spells by surrounding himself in a old-time spell making 1 month be 1 year, and he explored fighting strays and finding old devil houses with files about illegal work and experiments making a super devil, guess who, which Issei told Surzex about crossing the person off the list of strays. They continued to drink, but Issei needed to drink 10 to start feeling drunk as it was no dragon apple product, but it was the best devil drinks there is. Yo, hiccup Issei, so are you going back to Kuo? Seji asked as he was clearly drunk, as well as Zeoticus Barrakiel and Surzex to the others' amusement. Yes, I plan on it to finish my education. Issei explains, seeing Surzex drunk he smirks. Hey brother, do mind signing this? Issei says, giving Surzex a paper he is too drunk to read. Okay Issei. The Mu said fast and drunk as he signed it and gave it to Issei, making him put it away. Yes, plans done now to dash. As Issei was about to relax, Surzex, Azazel and Zeoticus grabbed him, flew him to the sky. Hey, let me go. He spoke. See ya kid. Azazel said as the three dropped him to the women's hot spring. Splash those three, Surzex, father Azazel, I will murder you. Issei yells as his guard drops as he hears someone call his name after yelling. Issei, says the orc Irina Ravel Mio and the Gremory family. POV before Issei was thrown. Why do we have to be here? Rias asked as she dragged by her mother. We want to relax and talk epically with you about your past with Issei and your cousin. Valnina said as her and all the girls were all in the springs. This feels nice, I haven't got a chance to relax. Zenobia says, relaxing next to Aquino as she chuckles. Era ours really am the same, but the most was us with Issei that day. Aquino says, making the two blush as they lay back in the water. Hey Zenobia, what's up? Irina says as she and Ravel are looking at the two. Nothing much, just relaxing, I'm glad to see again Irina. Come on, join us. Zenobia getting up and hugging her friend as they got close, making Irina blush, and Zenobia let out a small after what Issei and them did. They are sensitive and they go over to relax. Ravel want to join? Aquino asked. Yes please, I'm starting to get annoyed with Rias and the other two trying to tell Grafia and Venelana they are good and Mio can't talk, so she is just relaxing. Ravel explains as she lays down and the four smile and Mio does, looking towards them, but everyone looks up confused. Is that A underscore? But before they finside, Issei fell into the water making a splash. Back to present. Issei looked to see the girls around him and even Sona and Subek. Now before you girls say something, any man would fall head over heels or rather die of a nosebleed if they were in my poston right now, but Mother Rias girls and Big Sis Grafia, I humbly apologize for intriguing your day. Pardon me ladies, I need to go. I will kill you old fools. Issei yells as the girls keep looking at him. As he was about to fly, suddenly Issei feels a chill and turns to the girls. I'm naked, aren't I? He asked as the girls nod, confirming he lost his towel. Son of a, Issei whispers under his breaths as he turns red from embarrassment and begins to cover his body with scales and tried to leave again. Some yelled, calling him, making him look to see Lady Venelana, the woman who he views as a mother more than anyone he has met. Mom, Issei squeaks a little nervous. You're not going anywhere, young man, now sit down, calm down and let us give you a bath. She scowled as Issei felt scared but stood tall as a dragon. Run boy run. Be crazy. Dryag yelled in Issei's mind. Dryag said, making Issei sweat and run. As B began to run, he spread his wings and jumped to take flight, but he felt something grabbing his tail and saw Kaneko. Grr. Let me go, you stupid cat. No, you will stay this time, perv. Kaneko says, Issei off with a tick mark forming on his head and his veins showing like a wildfire. Fine, then enjoy the ride and good luck flying. Issei said, spins his tail and yeeted her upwards to get lost in the snow that was falling slowly in the calm night. Don't worry, cats always land on their feet. Issei says, chucking about to leave again. No you don't, stay honey. Ipakino mio, let me go, no joke, I need to be covered and you're naked. Issei says, red trying to control himself. Please Issei, come on. Zenobia says. Yes, sit with us. Mio and Ravel said as Issei can only sigh and sit down next to them and unfortunately next to the others too. Grr. Fine, but don't try to make me bite. Issei says, making his mates blush as he still has scales covering his. Issei, could you take those off? Rias asked with people looking at her confused and Issei giving her glares of rage. Why should a dragon wears his scales with pride? Rias. Issei snaps, making Rias look down, and Grafia walked to him with girls moving. You're hiding something, tell us, little brother. Grafia says as Issei finched and go silent. Don't worry, Issei, I will be here for you in Michael's name. Ain. Irina says as Issei is silent but tries to breathe and relax as he then feels a shiver over his body. But how sweet they care. Only before they kill you like I did. The ghost of the fallen raynare haunts him. Enough, why? You can't kill me now, get out. Issei snaps as he feels alone in the dark of the same park that was his death. But Issei, they will never love you unless you're dead like the love I felt for you then. Raynare continue. Enough, Gur. Enough, partner, calm down. Drake spoke to try and calm Issei down. Oh shut, lizard breath, without you he is nothing but a mistake, a perv with no home. Raynare spoke as Issei eyes flared with his rage. I said enough, now go away. Issei yells with his eyes crying, a mix of tears and a scared and sad voice spoke as Issei snaps back to reality and noticed he had all his wings out in his aura, but what shocked him most was his scales were blasted in the water, showing a big claw-like scar with burn marks. What? It's just a scar, okay? TCH, I'm out of here. Issei says, looking for his towel about to fly until he gets blasted in the back, shocking everyone. Who the hell is the to do that? Issei snaps and turns around to be jumped by Rias, who him, but as she does, Issei slaps her off and into the water, making everyone have a time trying not to laugh. Ouch, what the hell, Issei? Rias says, holding her cheek and getting up from his slap, grabbing something from the water. Oh, I don't know. Maybe don't try to me when I don't agree, TCH, now I feel sick, you know I'm engaged to your cousin and dating your queen and knight who I love with all my world. Not you. Issei says, making the water around him get hotter and boil as he then goes to try and fly again until he saw what Rias grabbed from the water, and give me back my towel. Issei snaps and Rias has the towel behind her back. You want it, come and get it. Rias says, taunting Issei, making him show his aura of flames even more, and he doesn't bother hiding his wings or tail as his appears in the flames. Fine, I got 4 limbs, maybe more. Issei says, using his tail to grab it. Chop Issei says as he growls at Rias, but Valnina walks to them. You know that's my daughter, right, son? She said. I got this, mother, it's between me and him. No, it's not, so help me out by stopping her. Actually, Ravel, is your phone waterproof? Issei turned to ask his little Phoenix. Call your brother. Issei said, shocking everyone, especially the orc. For his ex to be annoyed and... Aquino, is there a hole in my towel? Issei asked, seeing smoke from his towel when Rias shot Pod with it in hand. The fallen said as Issei sighed and turned it around and used it as a breather for his tail so he can use it and not break his clothes. We rather not get him, Issei, let just have fun and relax. Zenobia said as Issei calmed down. Why would I calm down and relax when I want to go down there and chill with the guys? I'm missing the bear, Azazel Brudash. Issei then covered his mouth as he realized what he just said. Beer. Grafia and Venelana, I really wanted to drink more of the normal stuff before I was thrown. It's not as strong as dragon beer, but it still tastes good even if I'm not drunk. Issei explains with a smirk. I see, please bathe with us, we can have some fun. Rias said, making Issei get angry. Time for plan B, Issei says, covering his fingers with magic and doing an old-fashioned whistle and a large gust of wind heading towards them. Here, Swirch, here, boy. Issei yells as a dragon suddenly arrives behind him. Hey boy. Issei says to his dragon as he saw Kaneko on its tail covered in snow. Swirch, drop, I will be back soon. He said as the dragon dropped Kaneko and left. I'm no longer a so leave me be, Issei says as feels a calm soul grab him. Issei-sama. Ravel spoke shy to the red dragon. Yes, Ravel. Issei said with a kind smile to the Phoenix as she blushes. Wanna? If you want, can I get a massage from you? She asked shyly. Of course, and fine, I will stay. Issei says sitting down in the water near the rocks and sat Ravel om his lab. See if one of you girls asked me like that I would stay. Oh, and Aquino please talk to your dad, he got drunk and is pulling an engagement on hush Issei and just give me a massage. Ravel said, cutting off Issei, making him chuckle. As Issei started to massage Ravel, the young girl went red and turned to Issei. Issei, you got a hole in your towel, right? Ravel asked as Rias and Aquino went red. I think only one. Why? He asked, focused on trying to relax. Look down. She said as Issei did and went red. KY. Oh, Issei then saw his dragon as he got horny fast being with a mate. I'm so sorry, Ravel. Hold up, Issei said, getting up and wrapping his tail around his waist heightened his, and he sat back down to massage Ravel again as he went to her sides and shoulders. Oh yes, Issei, please Issei-sama more. Ravel, you're so tight here. Partner, this is going to be good, you're making them think you're. Drake said as no one could see them and fire was bursting from the guys and pod from the girls. I'll loosen you up, be still, or I'll make you little lady. The two said, taking care of a knot in the shoulders as two figures rushed to them. What the is going on? Ravel and Rias say, shocked as they fly over to only see a massage and everyone's confused faces. What, am not that bad, who am I, Azazel? Issei said as Ravel and the four other girls who love him looked at him. If this wasn't public and they weren't here, you would be. They said as Issei went red. Busted, partner, they aren't wrong, and get something for your tail or you'll have marks. Drake said as Issei got harder and his tail couldn't hold it back. Okay, partner. Issei says as Kaneko gets up from the water, finally waking up. Meow, ouch, what happened? She said as everyone laughs as Issei bulge got worse. Tail isn't working, Aquino, get Rias away and Mio come with me. Issei said, moving Ravel and grabbed Mio to teleport. Okay, babe, Aquino said as she got up, blocking Rias from Issei and pushing her back. Hey, I am your king, leave me. Rias then saw Issei's member as he fly up to teleport and she started to nosebleed and pass out like the old Issei. Oh god, she's out for the count, who's the perv now? All devils say to Irina. Sorry, no regrets. POV Issei's cave. As a Gantt flame fades, we see Issei and Mio in the cave as Issei stretches his member as it gets itchy AMD bigger. Hey Issei, why are we in your seat? Mio said, blushing extremely and getting wet seeing Issei's member. You said you wanted a mate, well. I will make you mine. Issei says, look, as he playfully pushes Mio to the ground and in her neck. Sit. Mio says as Issei gets up only a little bit and uses one of his hands to feel Mio's womanhood. You want to play that way, fine. She says, getting up a little bit to place het hand on Issei's member and slowly it as the two begin to make out. After a while the two slowly part and let go of each other, no longer feeling each other, as Issei gets up with Mio breathing heavy and Issei breathing small flames. Missing mating season/heat phase was worth it. Issei says with a smile. Sit. I can't take it. Mio yells with her face red as Issei turns around. How what do you mean, youth? Issei then gets cut off as he gets hit in the face by Mio towel and he takes it off to look with his eyes widened, seeing Mio naked with her breast showing and legs spread showing her womanhood. Come on, dragon him in your cave now. Mio says, her lips. Issei says, rushing at her with a smile as the two are face to face. I will be gent, no break me. Mio says, making Issei red and summon the gear. Boost X10 transfer. Rang out as Mio glowed and felt like she could do anything as the gear was turned off. I gave you more stamina. Now asterisk thrusts right into her asterisk, enjoy this. Issei says with a smile as he into Mio as she from his power. I'm just starting, baby. He says as he harder and harder, making Mio go red as she smiles. Sit. Mio yells as Issei grabs her and reaches for her neck and bites it with a smile, giving a mark of drag showing that she is his mate. Time for a tease. Issei says, letting go of her neck and about to take out his manhood, but he them feels a push behind him as he sees Mio leg locks him. I'm not here for games, I'm horny too. Mio says as she bites Issei's neck and Issei smiles as he faster and faster, making her in the bite and becomes soaking wet. Sit. I. Mio yells as she falls on her back with the blade in her still. Now that you're sensitive, time for some fun. Issei says, using his tail and wrapping it around her neck as she smiles and begins to drool. Ardor, she says as Issei smirks. Oh, I will, but not yet, he says, and bidding one of her and the other as he harder and faster. Issei. Mio says as she can't handle the feel of pleasure. As he lets go of her and stops bidding. I am. The two yell as they together and fall asleep for the night. POV the next day. What time is it? Mio asks, getting up to see her covered by a cloth and her towel next to her along with new clothes and a box. What's this? Mio says, grabbing the box to see a black and gold box with the BGMI and a dragon crest. Issei, she says as she is about to cry as she opens it to see a ring made from his red scales and balance breaker and gold, while the gem is part of his gear, and a blue and red glowing gem from the heart of both Citri and BGMI domain, almost impossible to find. There is note as well. I was thinking, since we agreed to be together and if I'm your fiancé, why not give you a ring to make it official? I hope I can see you in Kuo, my love. As Mio reads it, she can't help but cry with joy. POV the train. As Issei and the others are on the train going home, he looks at his hand to have a pearl from the outfit Mio wore the time they first met. Time for fun to begin. Issei says as he looks into the gap between worlds as they are still in the train to smirk, feeling familiar with it. And that's the chapter, guys. I hope you like it and it was worth the wait. Let me know as this story will go wild in the future. Dragon Army Roar. The lone dragon emperor, the power of fire and ice can put someone into shock or a body part, but time for the magic shock category now, as you know, for Omega / the sword gear with 2 balance breakers Issei is making. It can be strong, but it needs a gem or anything strong and crystal-like to conduct the magic and power through it, which gives us Sub Blazer. This is the move now. It mixes fire and ice powers to make powerful spells along with offensive measures for fire and defense for ice, and to give Issei a major magic boost. He move is called Dragon Flash Shocker, a mix of hand-to-hand and magus. One of many. He has a large use of counter spells as well, but he has a few main moves. Death Glare. An ice ability with a range freezes the body similar to the dress break with a snap, but when you look in his eyes it freezes the body and even the soul itself. Now for his full form. The Balance Breaker. This is called Zero. Infernio Maximum, and ice power rivaling dragons, devils, and Norse all together into physical form, far stronger than his normal scale male, and Rook promotion from OG, and if he boost or goes all out, stronger than Queen. Sure, you may think not a lot, but put that on this Issei's power. He can freeze or melt most hand-to-hand weapons and attacks and magics based on objects or natures besides ice and fire. As for those, it depends on which part of the body it hits. Ice or fire. That is his short summary of many new powers Issei can make.